We are just hours away from the start of another day of jury deliberation in the Rittenhouse trial. 2 full days now, jurors still without a verdict. They did have some questions for the judge, and it brought everybody back into the courtroom yesterday, ultimately led the defense to ask again for a mistrial.
So let's bring in our Andrea Albers, who is live for us in Kenosha, as we look ahead to today. Andrea, good morning.
Good morning to you both. This is the second mistrial request from the defense within a week. And if the judge decides to grant this latest mistrial request, it would mean that this trial could have to start all over again. Now, jurors sent several written questions to the judge yesterday, and they were centered around requests to rewatch videos shown during the trial. And then from there, most of the day was spent arguing about video evidence. The defense eventually asked for a mistrial, accusing prosecutors of giving them a lower quality video of a key moment in the case.
We would have done this case in a little bit different manner if that was the situation.
I don't believe it should be granted.
Now, as you heard right there, the state says this latest mistrial request should not be granted. There are 2 mistrial requests on the table right now from the defense. Judge Bruce Schrader has not ruled on either. The defense says the video issue is no one's fault and that sending the file over email resulted in the video being compressed. Ultimately, the jury did spend about 45 minutes alone inside of the courtroom rewatching video that was shown earlier in the trial. The jury will be back here at the courthouse to begin deliberations again at 9 a.m. Reporting live in Kenosha, Andrea Albers, TMJ4 News.
Andrea, thank you. 6:31, and let's continue our live coverage as jury deliberations are set to resume again this morning. We are joined once again by local attorney and legal analyst Patrick Cafferty. Patrick, good to see you. The judge explained yesterday why he had not yet ruled on the initial motion for mistrial. Now we have 2 motions on the table. Do you see any likelihood the judge would grant either of those requests from the Rittenhouse team?
No, in short. So as to the first motion for mistrial, those are relatively common when the defense claims that there has been some mistake or misbehavior by the government during the course of the trial. And it's not unusual for a judge to take the exact same tact that Judge Schrader has taken here, basically to take it under advisement, let the jury do their job. If they come back with a not guilty verdict, then the issue is moot and the court never needs to rule on the motion. If they come back with a guilty verdict, then the court will rule on the motion. And to be frank, typically they will deny the motion, but the issues are preserved for appeal and the defense can take that up with the Court of Appeals. As to this new motion that has been filed by the defense, basically what they're saying is they had received a copy of this video that was of lower quality, and that if they had the video of higher quality, it would have changed the way that they would have tried the case, and therefore a mistrial should be granted so that they can start all over and try the case that they think they would have if they had this higher quality video. I don't know all the specifics of it. I haven't seen the lower quality video. I don't have access to the same information the lawyers do, but I can tell you this would be a tall order. They're really going to have to show that there is something dramatic about this that has prejudiced the defense in order to get this granted. I don't think the judge will take this up prior to the verdicts. I think the judge will let this go to the jury. And again, if there's a not guilty, it's moot. If there's a guilty, then he's going to have to address the merits of the issue.
Now, Patrick, nobody knows what the jury is doing, but we do know that the jury has had some questions and issues of concern. With your decades of experience as a defense attorney, can you give us some insight into what the issues are for the jury at this point as we enter day 3, and any sense based on that of when you think a verdict could possibly come down?
10:37 a.m.
Okay.
They're done. Book it.
So the reality is none of us know exactly when it's going to come down. It may be today, it may be tomorrow, it may be beyond. Generally speaking, juries don't want to deliberate over the weekend or have this hang over their heads over the weekend. So as lawyers, we often see juries come in on Friday afternoons at 3 or 4 o'clock. We jokingly call them fish fry verdicts, that the juries want to get to their fish fries, so they come up with a compromise and resolve the case. But back to your earlier issue, I wasn't surprised yesterday when they started to ask for video. That would seem to be the natural place where they would have disputes. Some of them were taking notes, or probably all of them were taking notes. So they would mark down things on their pad, like exhibit number 41, I saw this. And then they get into the room and they start to tell the other jurors what they believe exhibit 41 shows. Somebody else might look at their notes and say, that's not really what I saw. And then they put together a list of exhibits they want to see that may help some of these help resolve some of these factual disputes that they're having. So it's a complicated case and there was a lot of evidence. So it's clear that they're taking their time, they're being careful. The longer this goes on, the more likely maybe there isn't a verdict, that there's a mistrial because of failure of the jury to coalesce around one of the charges. So we'll see.
All right, Patrick Cafferty live for us once again. Patrick, I'll see you this noon hour, and you know the jury's decision as soon as we will know. For full coverage, you can head to tmj4.com/Rittenhouse. You can also download the free TMJ4 News app, and we'll send an alert straight to your phone.